Okay. It's always going to be the same thing that Nick does. That starts us off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Nick. Do your thing for the camera.
Oh, there we go. Number one. Best group in the world.
That was the same Bolt thing. Or maybe I'm mixing up. There's like three things like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a coworker who does it. He does it really well, and I keep trying to copy him, and I'm not good at
it. All right. Well, we are on week 3. We're third week in a row doing this thing. Wow. And I guess we can start with homework, which is probably, I'm not gonna lie, I just finished my homework. I wrote my post. I'm like, all right, I got my lead generation mechanism, my email list up, and I don't know if it's good or bad that it's going to show up on every page the first time whatever that page is. So that's the way I'm doing it. But if it's annoying, then whatever, I'll change it. But it's up there. It's working. It links to my MailChimp. I'm not cool enough for Drip yet.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm happy to have that done. So yay, homework. And I have my post, which is essentially documentation on some open source SCORM content. Well, not content, SCORM tooling that I wrote, which is essentially just like, here's a bunch of utility methods for SCORM stuff because it's a pain in the butt and whatever, I wrote it. So it's nothing fancy. It's like, I hadn't hit published on it, so technically I'm not done, but I do have to do spell checks. So that's where I'm at. So it's out. Full disclosure, last night I was kind of partying with a bunch of startup folks, so that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Unexpected, but pretty cool. Met a guy from Yale, told me my idea was terrible. That's always fun. Yeah. And, so I guess that's me on homework. I guess we do homework and then we do what we're going to do for the week and stuff. We talk about what we're doing for the week. To modify the format a little bit. All right. Who wants to go next for homework?
Yeah, I can go. No, I can go. I didn't. I felt like I talked a lot last time, so I don't want to talk too much. But yeah, last time my goal was to get my sales page updated and get a buy button on the screen, and then as a bonus in the middle of the week, I'll come back and talk about this a little bit. But I said get my WordPress plugin sort of moving forward. And I am happy to say the sales page, I got that stuff updated. I actually did it right after we hung up. Nice. And I had by coincidence, I had a conference call with a business coach that I befriended. And so I called him like 2 hours after our call and actually showed him what I had. And he gave me a little bit of feedback, which was really awesome. And then over the course of this week, my page is so incredibly minimal, but for some reason, I got a 10% increase in signups. I grew the size of my daily Stoic email list by 10%, which is 4 people. But still, exactly. So I was kind of surprised.
Still 10%.
Yeah, exactly. Double-digit growth. I'm going to take that to the VCs. No, I don't want to talk to the VCs. But anyway, so I was really happy with that because that was kind of an unexpected sort of bonus, if you will. I just wasn't expecting that to happen. So I look at those pages and I still think, man, they need a lot of work. But they're there. At least that one page is working well enough. I saw how many visitors came from Facebook, and it was only like 10 or 15. And so, that was pretty good. I'm slowly finding my people, I think. So the credit card thing, I do have a credit card page up on the screen, but it is still in the test mode. Right. Oh, Joe just pinged us. He said he's on a work call.
Oh, shoot.
So he might miss it. Crap. Okay. let's see what else. Oh yeah. So I have the fake page, but at least now it goes to a subscription. Like I had to set up a subscription option in Stripe. And so the button appears on the screen, you click it. When I go to Stripe's dashboard, I see, hey, I clicked on this. So pretty happy with that. And then the WordPress plugin, I think I kind of like just briefly mentioned it. I've got the whole database of things at heroicinspiration.com for anybody who's listening. I've got that whole database, and I've got ideas for different products that I could put in front of that database to sort of, spread it out. And one of them was a WordPress plugin. And so back in October, I created just a really basic plugin. My idea being there would be a free plugin that just had like 3 or 4 quotes. People could put it on a WordPress blog or whatever. And then if they liked it, I would have a pathway to sell them a premium version, which actually hits my API, and they can pick the topic, they can pick the quality, they can, do all kinds of stuff. I've just thought about it. I've been trying to not code things and test it first before I do any effort on it. So anyways, I told the business coach about that. He thought that was a really interesting idea. So I was like, man, I submitted the plugin back in October. They do a line by line code analysis. They sit there and review your code, and they come back and they nitpick. So they'd sent me an email saying, hey, this is the stuff you need to fix. So I sent that out, and yesterday got an email back telling me, hey, here's 4 more things you need to fix. So that one's moving forward. I'm kind of happy about that. It's PHP, which, oh my God, but it's if it works, it works.
Yep. All the tools are written in PHP. What are you going to do, right?
Exactly. And this morning, be careful if you're on WordPress and you go to upgrade. There's like a new version of WordPress. I have two WordPress blogs. One of them upgraded with no problem. The other one was down for about an hour, and I was like scrambling trying to, take the error messages I was getting and plugging them in and seeing, okay, what do you do in this situation? And I finally got it up and running. But yeah, there was some kind of weird plugin conflict that wasn't my plugin. My plugin is very simple. I'm not even going to say it's high quality. It's just real simple. But anyways, yeah, it took me a while.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it was the WP cache get function, which is, is that what you're using?
I am using it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it was weird because when I looked it up, there were people from a year ago talking about the exact same issue I was having. I was like, what? How is this even possible? But yeah, apparently one guy was saying, oh yeah, you got to upgrade your installation first, then upgrade the plugins. And then somebody was saying, no, do the opposite. And I was like, I upgraded the plugins and then hit the big one, and whatever. But anyways, I had to SSH into the machine and delete files, and it was a little bit painful, but it's up and running, and there are no errors on the screen, so I'm happy.
Well, good thing, because I saw it. I'm like, great, I'm doing stuff. It's not a good idea. The gut says don't do it because you're busy and you need to rush. So don't freaking do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that. So the subscription thing, that's interesting. I didn't know. I guess that makes sense, of course, that Stripe does that. I mean, Stripe does that.
Yeah, I was thinking like one-time hits. I was thinking of you buy credits, like $50 gets you 1 million API hits or something like that. And then I thought, well, a subscription model sounds really nice. So it's one of the ill-formed parts of my whole idea. It's I'm like, hey, I need to somehow gather money from people, but I'm not quite sure what people want. If somebody wants raw API access, then a monthly subscription makes a lot of sense. If they want this WordPress plugin, maybe a yearly fee. I don't want to do a one-time charge on that, because that'll be the fastest way for someone to have some massive blog that gets a 1 million views a day and runs up the bill for me, basically. And it's a good problem to have. I don't have it yet, but I'm dreaming of it. So
All right. That sounds good to me. I am curious, like how deep are you like into like Stripe and everything? Because I everybody talks about it. It's the one to use, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not using it. I'm using some third party thing.
Yeah, I worked at a company that we actually use Stripe for our all of our payment processing. Overall, it seemed really good. Like when I got there, they had already integrated it into the system, so I can't really speak to the programmatic side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And for the stuff I'm doing now, there was a WordPress plugin that was like $50 and yearly subscription for $50, and it handles you just put little square brackets, Stripe, and then the name of your plan and a couple of other things, and it draws the widgets. It handles all the communications. I had to write like no code. I was very happy about that. There's a podcast called Talk Python to Me, and the guy who runs that, Michael Kennedy, he did a Kickstarter for this on Python for Entrepreneurs, I think was the name of a course that he did. And in that one, he shows you how to build a little SaaS app. And he's using Stripe on that one to collect payments and do all that kind of stuff. So it seems popular. I did look at Braintree real quick, which they are owned by PayPal right now. Oh, did we lose Terrence? Oops.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think he's gone.
Oh, there he is.
And he's back.
Yeah, and that's how I got my first $1 million. So it was pretty easy. No.
Oh man.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I was saying that Braintree. I looked at Braintree real briefly. A while ago, Braintree was offering something where your first $50,000 that you processed through them was quote unquote free. Like they didn't charge you any fees on that. And I have a friend who she runs a nonprofit, and I was trying to tell her about that because she's looking for ways to. She uses PayPal, and she's looking for ways to cut down on fees and just make every dollar count. And I went and looked back at Braintree, and unfortunately, it looks like they're not doing that promotion anymore. So Stripe and Braintree, their rates, like as of a week ago, were the same. It's the same percentage, the same flat rate. It just Stripe, just, right? Yeah, I think
one kind of thing.
Right. I think a while ago, Braintree accepted Bitcoin and PayPal. I'm sorry, Stripe did not. But last night I was looking at the Stripe panel, and there were options for Bitcoins and stuff like that in there. So,
I wonder how big a market that would be. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool to say you can accept Bitcoin because it's like hacker currency, kind of, right?
Right, exactly. The only reason I bring that up is because at the other company I was working at, we had where we were using Stripe, we had a problem where we would get a lot of fraudulent cards being run through Stripe. And so Stripe would, somebody would get their bill and they'd like, hey, wait a minute, I never paid for this. And they'd call up and dispute it, and we would lose the money. Right. And so the thinking was, okay, there's hackers that are out there that are using our service to validate their data, and they're using stolen credit cards. And we were trying to think about how to, security-wise, keep those people from, getting through the door, basically. And I was like, well, wait a minute. What if our scoring system looks at them and says, hey, this person is suspicious. They might be, there's something about their profile that we think would cause them, they might be using a fake credit card. What if we displayed them an option to pay in Bitcoin? And the CEO of the company said, oh, so you want people to pay us in imaginary money? And the CTO thought, oh, that's an amazing idea because we can still keep their business. Maybe we can do something with the Bitcoin. I was like, yeah, you can buy computers with Bitcoins now. So, maybe so. But, that was like 2 years ago. And it was decided that, no, we can just, it wasn't worth the effort. And just tightening the security was enough to, even though it resulted in it's weird. It resulted in less business, but it also resulted in less chargebacks. So even now, it was still lost money, but it wasn't being lost 3 months later. It was being lost like right then. So, but anyways, yeah. But yeah, street credit, hacker credit. It's like, oh, that would be awesome.
Wow.
It's funny that people mention Bitcoin as a imaginary currency, but all the currencies are imaginary. So
that is true. Yeah.
It's like when
faith, right?
Yeah, it's like when people say to me, "Oh, I can't do this coding bootcamp because it's so expensive. It's like $10,000." And I was like, "Man, how much do you pay for your MBA or your graduation or your university degree?" It's far expensive than that. And the people, "Oh yeah, really? Yeah, that's true."
Actually, mentioning that, I did read something. There was another guy that has a free coding camp, I think, out there now. A French guy, I cannot think of his name or pronounce it to save my life, but he just started that I think this past month or something like that. They're trying to have like an online free coding camp that, honestly, it's like in the same kind of space as like Udemy or something like that, or edX, but you get a certificate or something. But anyway, yeah. I mean, you get what you pay for sometimes, so I'm sure it'd be worth paying for it more so than not in a lot of cases, right? At least typically they work with you to get a job or something. Anyway, that's your friend.
Yep.
Oh, man.
So I guess I have to talk about my homework. So my homework was like to decide in what niche I'm going to get into, So, okay, I study a lot of.
Do you want a drum roll or anything? No. I will be.
And
it's like dramatic music, and they're like, I will be a blankety blank.
When I grow up.
Yeah. Actually, there are two that got me really interested. It's like one is data science, this whole machine learning stuff, which is a hype at this moment. And as I'm doing a little bit of Python programming in my work, so it's kind of related, So we have a lot of libraries and frameworks using Python that deal with this kind of stuff, TensorFlow, NumPy, scikit-learn, and all of that. So, and the other one, the DevOps stuff, So they are not like related, but I'd like also this. So I'm still like seeing in which of these two I'm gonna start to blogging more about, So the one thing that I'm afraid with this whole data science stuff, it's like it can get very theoretical, So if you start to use machine learning, and then you have to study all those papers with these 1,000 models to solve the problems and so on. So it scares me a little bit. So.
But at the same time, I mean, it's platform agnostic, the theoretical stuff, right? So you could take that with you, and in the same way that computer science stuff, you can carry it with you. I mean, it's neat. Oh, there you go.
Collective, this is an awesome book, Collective Intelligence. It's one of the O'Reilly books. It's Python based. It's not very thick. It's a couple hundred, like 300 pages or so. But I really like this book because it talks about the sort of high level. I mean, it gets into details of how you would solve a particular problem, but it talks about a bunch of different problems, like how to learning from clicks. It talks about the design of a click tracking network and finding words on a page. I did a project where I did a bunch of word analysis, and I used this book when I was first picking up Python, and it's pretty solid. I really like it. Whenever you see like a best of programming books, that one usually is somewhere in there. It's not like a top 10 book, but it's one of those books that it's really accessible. People can pick it up and do things with it like right away. It's really good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm enrolled in a Python for data science or Python for machine learning course, and I'm in the second week of the course, and I'm really liking it. The teacher is like, it's a very, very young guy. And I was like, man, I'm jealous of this guy. How this guy knows too much, you know? But he's actually a data science, so he for living data science for living. So he knows very well what he's talking about, what he's teaching us. So I'm like, and the course is very not too much theory, not too much. Oh, you have this model, and this is the mathematical model of this model, and no, it's just practical stuff.
Awesome.
You know, he's using those Kaggle data sets, and then he's like, oh, we enter here on Kaggle.com and we download the data set. So let's work a little bit on this data set. What can we extract from this data set? So let's clean the data and do all this stuff that is related with data science. So yeah, it's very nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's good that he's teaching you how to clean data, because as a programmer, I swear that's half my career is trying to figure out how to clean up somebody's, crappy format that they've, hey, please send it in this format. Oh, okay, I'll send it in whatever format I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Well, you're almost great, but I'm not gonna lie, I'd be leaning data science myself between the two. I mean, data science and machine learning sounds really, really cool. And I mean, DevOps, I mean, yes, you can talk about, I don't know, microservices and, architecture stuff. And it probably would be more, I guess, applicable to most jobs. You probably find more gigs doing that kind of thing, but I think you'd find a lot more rewarding gigs doing the machine learning and data science stuff. And from what I've gleaned, a little bit there, but I don't know. Well, what's the argument for going DevOps then? So why is DevOps still the consideration there?
Because DevOps, it's kind of what I'm doing at the moment, So I'm not involved with like this whole hype of microservices stuff. Unfortunately, I would like to work in things like that. But that DevOps, it's like what I'm involved at the moment. So I thought maybe this will be something that I can blog about, because like. In my work right now, I'm automating a lot of stuff using Python, so maybe I was like thinking about that. I mean, there's a bunch of people that blog about this stuff, There are less people that blog about machine learning, but still a lot of people that blog about machine learning. So, and those who blog about machine learning are very good, very, very good.
Well, you could take it from a different angle. You could take it from the hey, I'm just starting this. This is what I've learned kind of angle. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be hey, I'm this expert. Honestly, I read a lot of the articles and stuff and that or blog posts, and it's like, dude, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm kind of barely there, So making it accessible, making it complex simple.
That's what I'm going to talk about. Like most of the stuff that you found about machine learning, data science, very theoretical. It's very difficult. Those guys write in some difficult way, trying to show their knowledge. Because I studied this paper, and you have this paper and that paper, and you have to study this, and you have to take this course from MIT and this one from Stanford. And I was like, man. I will spend 6 months learning before I read this post. It's unpractical, this. They explain machine learning in a more simple way. So, yeah, that could be a very good niche.
Yeah, I'm gonna, Andre. I'm sending you a link. I just put it in the chat room. There's this lady. Her name's Julia Evans, I think, and she does these. She works for some startup out in California, but she does these drawings of just the most obscure programming topics, like how to debug Linux machines, how a process works, and how networking works, and things like that. And I think that is a really interesting approach to take on some of this stuff. everybody can write about, some programming topic, but she draws cartoons. And so like when one of her new cartoons comes out and somebody puts it on like Hacker News, it blows up. Half of it is because people are like, oh, this is so cool, I didn't understand that. And another half is like, hey, you did this wrong, you didn't take into account blah, blah, blah. That the typical Hacker News dumpster fire. I'm not a big fan of Hacker News, but it gets people talking about it, and you can forward these off to people and say, hey, look, here's a real simple explanation of how how a page table works. It's a very computer sciencey thing, but she's presenting it in a really accessible manner, through these little cartoon drawings. So that's just an idea I had that of how you could approach that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
just as a non-conventional, something just like videos. Oh, screencasts. That'd be an interesting one. Like, hey, here's how I would, I'm going to learn about blue-green deployments, DevOps thing, and here's how I'm doing. That's kind of what Derek Bailey does a little bit with his JavaScript and Docker stuff here recently. So it's I think if you found a niche, I'm sorry, not a niche, but a new angle on it, like Julia did. Computer science topic plus cartoon equals a strange niche that no one else was in. So like DevOps plus transforming legacy code, or legacy system, moving legacy systems into DevOps, that would be a niche that people should be moving into. I don't know if they are, but legacy systems should be transformed into new things.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
And her cartoons are so small.
Yeah, she did a big old. I think it was like my favorite debugging tools in Linux or something. There was one, she actually made a zine out of it, like printed it out and took it to a conference and handed it out to people. That was how I found out about it. And I was like, this is just amazing. It's how to be a wizard programmer, I think. Anyways, she did one that was like, it was over a dozen pages of cartoons on various topics. It was really cool. So
Linux debugging tools you love.
Yes, yeah, that was probably one. That was one that it just stuck out in my mind. I was like, hey, I probably need to read this, and then reread it again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to implement something like that.
Yeah, just a little inspiration, because I love it when I see people who are taking an old idea and they put a spin on it and just breathe new life into it, and everybody gets excited about it. That's such an awesome thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in our field, software engineering, nothing is really new. The people just pick old concepts from the 70s, from the 80s, and then they rebrand and they launch as it's like something revolutionary, like microservices. This whole SOA stuff. There is a guy called some name Parnas that wrote a paper in the 70s talking about that. So the idea is not new.
Yeah,
it's very old indeed. So.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Probably going to crib a little bit on the drawings as well. I'm like, maybe I can utilize that as well. It looks like Joe's with us now too.
Look, guys, sorry I'm late.
Hey, no worries.
No problem.
Work.
Crazy day.
All right. Well, we just went through the homework assignments, kind of. So,
awesome.
So we're up to you. How'd you do on your homework?
I'm really bad at planning how much effort things take. So I've been really busy today, just this whole week editing things. I have like 27 videos I need to edit. So I've been making promos of them and then releasing them. And then I need to make edit out the whole video. I have to listen to all of them, take out any weird pauses, add some branding for the conference. So that's basically what I've been doing all week. So I didn't meet all the goals I set out last week, but at least things that I'm working on are still Automation Guild related, which is what I've been trying to focus on anyway.
Yeah. So you got the Ruby guy, the cucumber.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Matt Wynn. Matt Wynn. Yeah, he's awesome.
Cool.
So I'm excited. I got John Samez doing a keynote. I got his keynote in, and got me all pumped up. So I've been watching that. So that's gonna be awesome.
I'm happy he was wearing a shirt. When I saw the tweet, I was wondering if he was going to be wearing like a muscle shirt. And like,
it's actually longer than I thought it would be. He's usually wearing, even something tighter. So
yeah.
He's being modest, I guess, for the automation engineers. I don't know why. But
don't want to scare him off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got a few more signups. I got a group sign up today of 6 people, so that was pretty good.
Nice.
So it's slowly creeping up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to talk to my boss's boss at work because we're kind of a larger company. I know of one QA person in our company. I imagine there are others, but I wanted to go and run your conference by him and say, hey, with the end of year money thing that you brought up, no one has talked to my group about end of year money, so I think we have none. But that doesn't mean other groups don't have it. So. Yeah, I'm going to try and get a hold of him next week before the vacations start. So
that'd be awesome. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know. I heard in the Entreprogrammers podcast that Derek was talking about. He's going to run a promotion for end of year promotion for companies, team companies, enterprise wide. For how you have a budget and sometimes that budget doesn't get used up. And I didn't even think about it until I listened to that episode. I'm like, well, wait a minute, I could probably do the same thing. So I'm trying to find a way how I can contact enterprise and say, hey, if you have any end of year money you're trying to get rid of. I know our company does sometimes, not this year. And so I'm going to try that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, hey, that sounds like a good idea. Approaching, well, I guess it's a little bit more legwork in terms of the, I guess you're going to lurk LinkedIn and find the key people and then sell it to them, which, that works. You get the free trial and run with
it. I guess my problem is I didn't think this through with the plugin I'm using. It's a Member Pro, but membership, usually what happens, the way it's set up now is if I have a group of 5 or more, they just type in the number and one person signs up, and then I need to manually go in then, get all the usernames and passwords and emails and add them manually. So there has to be a more elegant way than what I'm doing.
Didn't that Derek have a similar kind of problem with the groups? And I think he had his own extension or something to solve it.
Yeah, it's some team plugin, but he's using a different membership site plugin than I am. So I need to look into that. Actually, that's on my list. I need to look, see if there's some sort of team. I guess in general, it doesn't matter. If 6 people signed in, they could use the same username and password, but I have an app, and the app is going to be based on a person's email address. And it doesn't accept duplication. So once again, like I said, I didn't think about the 2 systems and how they're going to work. But
how bad would it be to just charge them or as individuals and then provide group discount? I mean, I don't know if that.
But they usually have to go through their HR, and the HR makes it seem like it's a big deal. They don't want to give the company credit card to them. So it's everyone. I'm all getting these crazy requests too from Europe, like I need a VAT number on this, and all this crazy stuff. So all these one-off things I have to document because I don't want to. If I do this again next year, I want to make sure I have all the use cases in place.
Wow. Did not consider any of that. It's like, what?
No, I didn't either. I know. That's why. It's like, I'll do it. That's why I guess they always say just go out and do what you're going to do. You can't over-plan because usually even the things you plan for aren't going to happen. So just do it.
Awesome. Well, I guess we went through all the homework assignments. I guess you started on what you're doing this week. I guess come back around. Whoever wants to go next and talk about what you've been doing this week.
You mean plans for next week? Or
speak to next week, and yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Plans for next week.
Okay. Well, no, because I've been rattling on about all the weird little things I've been doing. So
well, that's true too. All right. All right. Well, plans for next week then. We'll start with that. So I'll start. So this week I did get a blog post that's like in the hopper and more or less ready to go. I probably do a little bit more tweaking on the format stuff, but the content's written. I just had to hit it. Got the subscription piece up. Probably pump out another 1 or 2 blog posts and maybe a video. I'm really like, or something similar to what Nick showed us earlier, like the Julia drawing thing. Maybe drawing a visual or something interesting like that. But producing more content. I guess that's my big thing. Because that's something I absolutely am like not. I have a hard time with that. Like I'm getting back into the motion, but it's definitely like a what do I write about? Just pick a topic in the area of SCORM stuff and just go with it. So that's my goal for the week. Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
So Terrace, I think I may have missed it, but what happened with you want to go through your old Stack Overflow answers and you want to make videos out of it to get some content ideas?
Definitely. Still on the to-do, but right now I'm going to try to be the e-learning SCORM guy and take whatever content I have. And I don't really have a lot of written stuff. I have like an open source project that was my first post writing about. And a lot of my other posts are basically general kind of programming stuff. I mean, I can certainly lean on that to just make more content for the site and improve my existing content. But I'm trying to do the positioning as a e-learning aficionado guy. And so that's I'm going to probably knock out maybe 5 or 10 posts on that, see how that goes in relationship to the software that I have available to sell, and see if that maybe either gets me people buying or gets me either more engagements as a consulting kind of on a one-on-one basis, as a funnel to my other work. And I guess if it doesn't and no bites, not a lot of change there, then I guess kick that can and then go from there. That was my original, I guess, issue was, do I pivot outside of the e-learning or just kind of go to something else, like my other project, or do I stick with it and dig in and just kind of push as much as I can and kind of get the content, get everything out as far as I can go with it. So I'm going to elect the first and try to go as far as I can with it for now.
Hey, do you have a set goal for the SCORM stuff? The reason I'm asking is because something I've always struggled with is knowing how. I put in an effort, but did I put in a good enough effort? And where's the ending point? And I've always kind of struggled with that.
Honestly, I don't know. At this point, if I'm just guesstimating here, if I get any sales, if I don't have any sales after publishing this stuff, then I know for sure it's like, all right, done. Or nothing, no opportunity comes from this other than, maybe a couple more hits on the side or something like that. Then I'll know. But at the very least, I'll give myself maybe 5 or 6 pieces of content, maybe a video, maybe 4 posts or something like that, and just kind of give it maybe a month, I guess, 15 months. I think that seems fair. And if it doesn't do anything, if nothing happens with it, and I utilized all the resources related to it, like if I try to involve guest blogging and essentially just all that stuff, and see if anything happens. So if nothing happens and nobody cares, then nobody cares. That's my litmus.
The simple Entreprogrammers webcast today, and John mentioned something about what they're gonna do with the simple programmer. It's going to build a community around it. So they will start to promote products from someone who has a big audience, like Joe, for example, and then they start to sell to their audience these products. So maybe this is a good idea for you, Terrence.
Maybe. One of the things I found through user research was that I won't say they're gray matter or dark matter developers and dark matter IT people in e-learning, or a disproportionate number, but there is a pretty large number, especially in the tech that I'm talking about. And if I, pursue the angle of old tech to new tech, like SCORM to tin can or experience or whatever it's called, whatever name you prefer, it really is a matter of gaining the hearts and minds of at least some of the people that care. It's like it's kind of a weird, I won't say it's like a legacy niche, but in large part because the tech's been around like 10 years and people are slow to gravitate. Like, it's kind of a systematic kind of a problem with the e-learning industry as a whole. There isn't been, I mean, on the one hand, you see a lot of the tech, the fancy tech that like the VRs and the interactive games and utilizing like Unity and stuff like that, but they're mostly for tech shows. Not a lot of people are going forward and pushing that envelope as much as you would think they would be with all the stuff coming out. And that's on the whole. I mean, there's people that are doing these things and kicking butt, but it's kind of in the minority. So it might be an industry thing. I'm like, yeah, blame it on everybody. It might just be I chose the wrong thing to stick with, even though, or the wrong angle, and I'll tweak the angle.
Mm-hmm.
But might just go with the new tech and try to pitch that. I was reading a lot of the articles related to the newer tech and branching, and there's not a lot of info on there. So I'm probably going to go SCORM and then SCORM to the new version of it, which would be Tin Can, which is like the offline experience promote anything API. So it's kind of a thing. It's like, I know it's a pain point, but it's a pain point that people are willing to live with, or people don't have to deal with as much as I had to deal with. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. It's kind of a downer.
Are you a member of the Tin Can API user group on LinkedIn?
I think I am. I just
okay. As you were talking, I was like, hey, I wonder if I know anybody who knows anything about SCORM. And so as you were saying keywords, I was just typing them into LinkedIn, and sadly, I don't know anybody. But I'm just thinking networking right now. If there's a way, to get in front of people.
Well, I mean, I do have connections with the people that develop the Tin Can standard, so that's kind of cool, like indirect connections. But again, it's kind of a momentum thing. I mean, they do stuff in front of trade shows, and I just got to find my way into that kind of area, I guess. But the company Rustisi, they have I have like a couple of their contacts, and I call them up every couple of weeks and ask them questions about market analysis and stuff. And they're, pretty open, and I help them with their open source library for working with SCORM. So I'm like unofficial helper guy. And their founder is the guy that came up with the Tin Can standard. It's like this whole kind of weird story thing, but but I do have some ties into there, so I can use them. I just got to figure out how best to use them. Like they're promoting the product, or they're going to be promoting my product shortly. So maybe that might help some, but
No, everything I just said was actually my second idea, because I thought my first idea was really not good. So my first idea was to try and do you know who Zed Shaw is by chance?
Yeah. Learn C.
Exactly.
The rent guy.
Exactly. He kind of set the Python world on fire a couple of weeks ago, because he posted this extremely inflammatory post about how Python 3 is not good and all that stuff. And I was thinking you could make a blog post called "SCORM is dying and not fast enough. Help me kill it," or something like that, and try and push exactly clickbait. And if you with a solid clickbait headline and like a solid thesis in your first paragraph of hooking people into, hey, here's my idea. I hate to use this phrase, but you could become a thought leader. I don't like that phrase, but I was trying to think of how you could get attention and get your name in front of people, and that was burning down the world. It's not always the greatest way, but.
Well, that's what John Summers did in the past. He wrote a blog about how C++ is dying, how JavaScript is dying. He posted the record news, and then he attracted a ton of visitors to his blogs. A lot of bad comments as well, but he's now known.
Exactly. Well, I noticed. I look at his YouTube videos when they come out. I pay attention to the number of views, and I noticed that when he's done like JavaScript ones recently. He did one like a week or so ago, and it had like 4,000 views within a day or two, and everything else had like 200, 300 views. And I thought that was really interesting. He touched a nerve. I didn't watch the video because I just don't care about JavaScript enough at the moment. But I think that's touching a nerve gets you attention. I think that's the moral of the story.
He made a video about an article. And this guy on this article is saying that how the JavaScript community is doing it. And he was basically on the video commenting the article and agreeing with the offer, So
okay.
Easy video and attracted a lot of viewers.
Mm.
Oh, man.
That stuff about JavaScript always attract viewers.
Was that the one that the article was the Learning JavaScript 2016, and they talk about all the build systems and all? Oh my gosh, it's a good article. It's like, that's how I feel. I don't like it. I mean, yeah. It's like, I don't want to say I don't like JavaScript, but there are a lot of things, man.
I'll say it. I'm not a fan of JavaScript. I use it when I have to, but it's.
I don't like the syntax. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Well, there's just so many things.
Like anything that comes with Java in the name. So.
There's tons of JavaScript work out there, man. That's why it's like I can't hate it for that, because it certainly pays the bills. And
it does.
Yeah. I always say that I want to be alive to see JavaScript being replaced on the web browsers. Let's see if it's going to happen.
That would be impressive to see. Yeah, I don't know if that'll ever happen. Wow.
Yeah.
I've always thought of it like C, right? So I figure it'll be around, but we'll have some sort of middle layer that doesn't allow us to have to deal with that shit. It's just like, I know JavaScript's running everything technically under the cover, but I write, blankety blank. I really don't care. But the language of the web and all that. I mean, I'm conflicted. So there's a lot of things missing about it, and I've done a lot of talks on JavaScript. So it's like, I can't. But the lack of a standardized like namespacing system without having to add extra crap, the interoperability. I mean, the fact that you can just pull up a thing in code, that's cool. I like that. But things like the triple equals, the comparison operators, the way it handles this. this.
I think one of the biggest problems with JavaScript is the lack of standardization. That they are trying to make some standards with this ECMAScript 6 stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's like the Python community, the Ruby community, and things like that, where you have a benevolent dictator, like in the Python community, which is of the language. So, and also the JavaScript community is so fragmented, So I'm working in a JavaScript framework with Nick, and then me and Nick fight for whatever reason. And I was like, I'm gonna build my own framework. So,
yeah.
And then Webpack. Go. It's like that's the build tool.
Grunting. Yeah.
Why is that something fighting over? Why are you fighting over that? Like, React. Angular 2. Vue. Ember. I hate you. I hate you too. I mean, I've worked with guys. We've had that argument. It's like, why are you using Angular? It's like, well, that's what I'm using. I don't. you should use Ember. It's like, why? I mean, I'm already doing. They do the same thing, right? Kind of. This is better. It's like, dude, I don't really care. I mean, I kind of care. I finished this thing. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Talk about link bait.
So go ahead, Joe.
I was just say talking about link bait. Actually, one of my top posts is the top 8 essential JavaScript automation frameworks you can use, because there's so many of them. They keep coming out all the time. So there's a quick reason link bait works.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the web applications are like 95% of the web applications in the world are CRUDs, you know, create, read, update, delete, and the JavaScript part could be absolutely made with jQuery, but no, jQuery is very old.
Well,
no, I'm not. I'm gonna use React. I'm gonna use Angular 2. I'm gonna use the crap Aurelia framework or the crap Angular 2 or React because Facebook told so. So it happens.
All right. In defense of JavaScript frameworks, since there's a reason for them. You want your application to behave like desktop applications, which is kind of weird at this point, but in jQuery alone with postbacks and things like that, it makes for a bad user experience. And granted, I can live with postbacks. You know, we've done it the 90s, the 2000s, right? We've lived with it. You know, you can feel when you click a button and you feel the submit. You can almost like feel it going over the wire and then coming back, right? So part of that is that. Part of that is some level of flexibility with the mobile browsers and performance. And I mean, it's like there's a need for frameworks. Well, there isn't a need for 20 frameworks.
Yeah.
20,000.
20. Well, one a day. You know, every time you hear a bell ring, an angel gets its wings, and there's a new JavaScript library, right? Which is why I like Elm. But there you go, another hipster language thing, right? So, but I kind of at that point now where it's like I just don't want to deal with it. I just don't let me deal with it. Like, but I like functional stuff, and I'm kind of a nerd on that. So just keep it simple for me. I don't want to deal with state. Don't let me deal with state. Keep it from me. Don't let me fuck it up or mess it up. Just take it away. I don't need it. Anyway, all right, end of rants. All right, so we're at the 1 hour almost. We need to talk about, did everybody talk about what they're doing this week? Doing content.
I'll go real quick. Continuing to improve those landing pages to try and get more signups. The WordPress plugin, I've got 1 out of 4 issues fixed that they asked for. Actually, no, I've got 2 out of 4. Woohoo! I'm halfway done. And then go live with that credit card thing, which needs work also to figure out exactly what am I going to accept. You know, send me money, I'll figure it out later. That's my new motto. So,
accept everything. Give it. I don't care.
Yes.
Money.
For me, it will be finish to port my old blog post from my old blog, Jackie blog, to my new WordPress blog. There are like 2 or 3 posts left to put on my new blog, and then I will try to set up a mailing list. Because I have an audience, like 2,000 visitors a month, something like that, and I need a mailing list to communicate better with those people.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Have you still like on the specialization piece? Like, is that gonna? Are you decided anything, or which? Are you for sure?
Yeah, I think I'm going to the machine learning stuff, data science stuff. So it's a hype at the moment. So I think I can build a momentum with this subject. So it's a good idea.
Yeah, and be thinking of, like I was saying, some weird angle that you can put on it, like learning science to look at, or data science to look at like the top music charts this year and figure out who the best songwriter is, or
Okay.
Something. I'm just throwing that out there as a example of a random thing.
Yeah, commercial political thing, right? You could probably find something.
Yeah.
And then
did something political happen this year? I lost track. No.
Well, I know I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Yeah, anything with the data source or anything interesting, I'm sure.
Yeah,
a lot of interesting. Right. And Joe, your called thing for the week.
Continue to edit all the videos I've been getting in for the conference. But what I'm going to do is I'm getting transcripts done. And so I really need to do a blitz where every video I get, I need to make a promo video off that video, get a transcript, and do a blog post that kind of is a teaser for that with an explicit call to action, sign up for the Automation Guild to learn more. And so I want to do, like, rather 12 days of Christmas, 12 days of automation, and really do some sort of blitz with that. So it's like everywhere. I don't care if it's spammy. I'm just going to go all out and see what happens.
Well, any thoughts to? I know I've been listening. Chuck has been outsourcing a lot of the editing and the transcripting and a lot of that stuff. Are you at a point where that's a good idea for you? Or
yeah, I have someone doing the transcripts. The editing, I just spoke to someone that gave me a really reasonable price, but I actually like editing. I went to school for music, Berklee College of Music, so it's kind of like it's an excuse for me to pretend like I'm doing something with music. So, but at some point, if I get really overwhelmed, I think I could outsource some of this stuff if I had to. So, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I'm not opposed to it when it makes sense.
But you do actually like it. You're like, this is kind of my baby.
Yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
I guess. What did you play?
Guitar.
Or did you play everything? Berklee School of Music.
That was a guitar, professional music arranging.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nice.
I play guitar, but I'm an amateur player, so.
Same here, yeah.
I was a drummer, actually, long time ago. I kind of thought I was going to be a music professor or something like that.
Nice, yeah.
We can make a gig.
That's what we can do.
Yeah, if the mastermind doesn't work out, we've got a backup plan.
Game song.
Wow. Well, that's neat. Well, isn't that how it goes? Most programmers apparently have a musical background in them. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we just hit the 2 mark. I think we covered everything. Everybody's got a thing to do, or homework assignments. I guess we are going to call this one a day. Everybody wrapped up, and oh, hey, I guess if you haven't already seen, everybody's already, I think, seen like the latest episodes of Entreprogrammer and some of the comments and stuff. It's like, hey, man, we're kicking butt. We're doing good.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome. Yeah. We're ahead of the curve. All right, guys. Well,
awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Sign out. And again, well, I will say, if anybody wants to do anything with videos or tweak them or do anything, by all means, I'm a noob at this, so. All right. Hit me up on Slack or something. All right.
Cool.
Bye.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.